The Drake versus Kendrick Lamar drama. Oh honey, it has been the talk of hip-hop for over a decade. A feud that started with bars has exploded into a saga filled with betrayal, shade, accusations, and now a brand new twist no one saw coming.
Kendrick! You know what? Charles, grab me a shot. I'll drink to them. Grab me a shot.
And just when we thought things couldn't get any messier, everything flipped upside down. New footage, yes, actual footage, shows Drake outside what looks like Kendrick Lamar's home, and the internet completely losing its mind. Is this the beginning of an unexpected truce, or the boldest twist in their decade-long beef? Grab your popcorn, because this story is about to get wild. This wasn't just a petty exchange of disses. Oh no, this rivalry spiraled into something much bigger. We're talking about Drake's house being burglarized, Kendrick allegedly surviving an assassination attempt, and now, Drake caught on camera outside Kendrick's home. The roller coaster never stops. Some fans are whispering that this could mean reconciliation, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Remember, before all the chaos, these two were actually cool. Back in the day, Drake put Kendrick on his Take Care album with the Buried Alive interlude, and Kendrick returned the love, featuring Drake on Poetic Justice from Good Kid, M.A.A.D. City. They even linked up on A.I.P. Rocky's Fuckin' Problems, and let's be real, that track was a whole vibe in 2012. But here's the gag. Kendrick wasn't just a collaborator back then. He was opening for Drake on the Club Paradise tour in 2012. Picture it. Kendrick, the humble kid from Compton, warming up the stage for Drake's smooth R&B rap fusion. It was like watching your little brother grow up to become your biggest rival. Only this little brother turned out to be a lyrical assassin, with a Pulitzer Prize in his back pocket. But things didn't stay friendly for long. The first crack appeared in 2013, and it wasn't a crack, it was an earthquake. Big Sean dropped Control, and Kendrick used his verse to declare all-out war on the rap game. This wasn't a playful jab, this was a lyrical nuclear bomb. Kendrick didn't just call out legends, he went after his peers. And yes, Drake's name was right there in the mix. Imagine you're at a family barbecue and your cousin suddenly stands up, slams his fork on the table, and declares he's coming for everyone at the cookout. That's exactly what Kendrick did. The audacity was unmatched. The reaction? Immediate. Hip-hop heads went crazy, debates exploded, and every rapper started sweating, wondering how to clap back. Drake, of course, tried to play it cool at first. In interviews, he downplayed it, acting unbothered, but you could hear the sting in his voice.
Up and elevated too much?
Nah, I feel like that's it. It's like, you know, he's the new guy to love, and of course, I mean, rightfully so. He's super talented, you know. But thank you. But he's but he's like, you know, he is the underdog that's extremely hungry.
And then Drake couldn't resist. He started talking more, and that saltiness came through crystal clear. He basically said, if Kendrick was really about that life, he should have come harder. Translation? If you're going to come for me, you better not miss.
Get it. I get the moment. Like, you know, he's a good guy. And like, I know that verse had no malice behind it because I saw him 5 days later at the VMAs and it was all love. So it's like, he didn't come on there on some wild, like, yeah, I'm in New York, everybody don't look at me. Like,
I'm the king.
So it was one of those things, it's like, I almost wish he had come in there on that because I kind of lost like a little respect for the sentiment of the verse. If it's really everybody, then it needs to be everybody. It just can't be halfway for the sake of the people. But you know what I'm saying? Like, for real, that's just how I feel.
Meanwhile, Kendrick stayed diplomatic on the surface. He called hip-hop a sport, said he respected everyone, but you could feel the tension bubbling under that calm exterior.
I think hip-hop is a sport, so you're gonna have these little spits and spats, and it's all good because personally I respect these dudes as, you know, as people.
Then Kendrick dropped a line that made his mindset clear as day.
That was a big of a deal when I wrote the rhyme. You know, a diss record is a diss record where, you know, you
say something
blatantly saying something negative about somebody, but I feel as though hip-hop hasn't been, I guess it hasn't been competitive in so long. They take lines like that as a diss record.
People are hype.
Basically, Kendrick was saying hip-hop had gotten too cozy and he was here to shake things up. He wrapped it up politely, but let's be real, that was a bomb with a smile. And so began nearly a decade of a cold war between these two giants. No direct shots, but plenty of subliminals. Drake would slip lines that might be aimed at Kendrick. Kendrick would fire back with bars that fans dissected for hidden shade. It was like watching two exes fight through passive-aggressive Instagram captions. The tension built year after year. Every interview, every song, every award show, fans were scanning for clues. Everyone knew a storm was brewing, but neither side wanted to be the first to throw a punch. Until, boom, it all exploded in 2024. Future and Metro Boomin dropped We Don't Trust You, and Kendrick used his verse on Like That to light the match. No more subliminals, no more smiles for the cameras. He came out swinging, dismantling the idea of the big three in hip-hop. When Kendrick rapped, "It's just Big Me," he wasn't just throwing shade at Drake, He was rewriting the entire rap hierarchy. Forget being one of the top 3. He crowned himself the only one that mattered. And that line about Prince outlasting Michael Jackson? Whew. Drake has always styled himself as MJ, the king of pop rap crossover. Kendrick was saying, "Actually, I'm Prince, and history's on my side." The responses came fast. This wasn't the old school style where rappers waited months to drop diss tracks. No, this was war in real time, a competitive bloodbath. Drake dropped push-ups, finally letting years of pent-up energy explode. He went for the jugular, mocking Kendrick's height, his pop collabs, even his grip on radio play. For hip-hop fans, it was pure adrenaline. But then things turned ugly. Suddenly, this wasn't just bars, it was personal. Drake's private life, Kendrick's career choices, even family drama got dragged into the mud. The beef escalated at lightning speed, going from witty subliminals to full-on character assassinations in weeks. And in all this chaos, Drake's messy past came rushing back to haunt him. Now, let's not sugarcoat it. In hip-hop beef, nothing is off limits. Your mom, your kids, your exes, everything becomes fair game. And Drake? Oh, Kendrick had plenty of ammo. Drake's relationships with younger women suddenly came under the spotlight again. Remember in 2018, when 14-year-old Millie Bobby Brown casually mentioned that she and 31-year-old Drake were texting regularly? She said he gave her advice about boys. Sounds harmless? Maybe. But the internet was like, "Excuse me? What?" Drake eventually tried to address it in his 2023 track Another Late Night, insisting his relationships were always age-appropriate. But by then, public opinion was already messy. And then old footage resurfaced. Drake on stage in Denver in 2010. He brought a fan up, asked her age, she said 17. Instead of backing off, he made comments about her looks that made fans replay the clip in disbelief. And then, it got even more awkward. Drake didn't just talk. He got handsy. Now, legally, she was at the age of consent in Colorado, but come on, the optics were bad. A superstar and a teenage fan, the power imbalance was glaring, and fans weren't done digging. They connected the dots, pulling up his Valentine's Day comments about having 2 little girls as his Valentines. People immediately linked it back to Millie Bobby Brown and Billie Eilish, who were both very young when Drake was publicly cozying up to their careers. So when Kendrick dropped Euphoria, he didn't hold back. He turned Drake's own moniker Certified Lover Boy into Certified Pedophile. Director, brutal, and impossible to ignore, and that was just the start. But the skeletons in Drake's closet don't end there. His love life has played out like a soap opera with new twists every season. Remember Sophie Brousseau? She's the mother of his son, Adonis. That whole story didn't come out because Drake proudly announced he was a father. Nope. It was Pusha T who aired him out during their infamous beef in 2018, rapping on the story of Adidon that Drake had a hidden son. Fans were floored. Imagine finding out through a diss track that your favorite artist has been hiding a child. Drake eventually embraced fatherhood publicly, but the way it unfolded left his image bruised. Then there were the legal dramas, women stepping forward with wild claims, pregnancies, secret relationships, attempts to silence them. One woman, Layla Lace, accused Drake of getting her pregnant and ignoring her. When he denied it, she went public, only for Drake to flip the script and sue her for extortion. Whether the claims were fact or fiction, the sheer number of scandals painted a picture of someone who couldn't keep his personal life from spilling into the headlines. And just when people thought they'd seen it all, Rick Ross jumped in during their spat and accused Drake of going under the knife. Everything from a nose job to fake abs. In hip-hop culture, authenticity is everything, and being accused of being manufactured is like a scarlet letter. The funniest twist? Drake's mom allegedly texted him about it, asking if the rumors were true. And of course, he posted it on Instagram. Picture it. Your own mother sliding into your DMs like, "Son, did you really get a BBL?" Twitter is saying things. That's the kind of family group chat energy that makes you want to evaporate into thin air. But beyond the messy personal scandals, the core of this feud was much deeper. This wasn't just gossip, it was a war over hip-hop's soul. See, Drake has always had critics who question his place in hip-hop. Born to a Jewish Canadian mother and a Memphis musician father raised in Toronto's bougie Forest Hill neighborhood, Drake's background wasn't exactly street. He first entered the spotlight not through rap battles or cyphers, but as an actor on Degrassi, The Next Generation, playing Jimmy Brooks, the kid in a wheelchair. For hardcore rap fans, it was a hard sell. Imagine if Zac Efron from High School Musical suddenly demanded to be taken seriously as the next Ice Cube. That was the vibe. But Drake was smart. Instead of faking a gangster persona he never lived, he leaned into something different. Vulnerability, emotional rap, melodic hooks. He created a lane where he wasn't trying to scare you, he was trying to make you feel. Tracks like Marvin's Room and Take Care made it cool for rappers to be in their feelings. It worked, especially commercially. He became the artist who could dominate radio, streaming, and the charts, all while keeping his credibility intact. Kendrick, on the other hand, was forged in fire. Born and raised in Compton, California, gang culture wasn't an abstract concept for him, it was his environment. His father had ties to the streets, his mother fought to pull the family out of it, and that constant push and pull shaped every bar he wrote. When Kendrick raps about struggle, systemic oppression, or the complexities of being black in America, it isn't performance, it's his lived reality. And Kendrick didn't just rap, he elevated. Albums like Good Kid, MAAD City, and To Pimp a Butterfly weren't just collections of tracks, they were cinematic, layered narratives packed with literary depth and philosophical weight. He wasn't just making music, he was crafting modern-day classics. The differences between Drake and Kendrick's approaches couldn't have been more stark. Drake was the hitmaker, the shapeshifter, the one who could jump from Toronto R&B vibes to Atlanta trap to Caribbean dancehall to UK drill. Whatever was hot, he could make it his own. That versatility made him the commercial king, breaking streaming records, selling out arenas, and crossing over into pop stardom. Kendrick was the critical darling, racking up Grammys, earning cosigns from legends like Dr. Dre and Eminem, and becoming the first rapper in history to win a Pulitzer Prize. His track All Right became a protest anthem, immortalizing him as more than just a rapper. He was a cultural voice, an activist with a mic. Drake had the numbers, Kendrick had the respect. For a while, that balance worked. Drake ruled the charts while Kendrick ruled the critics. But the bigger both became, the harder it was to ignore the question, who was really the king of hip-hop? And let's be clear, hip-hop doesn't do co-kings. So when Kendrick finally decided to torch the Big Three narrative and crown himself, the gloves came off. Drake wasn't just defending his pride, he was defending a decade-long legacy as hip-hop's commercial powerhouse. Kendrick wasn't just throwing shots, he was demanding recognition as the greatest artist of his generation. And when those worlds collided, it was no longer just about bars, it was about philosophy. What matters more? Dominating the charts or reshaping the culture, selling the most records or pushing the genre forward? Drake symbolized hip-hop's ability to conquer the mainstream, to become the soundtrack of global culture. Kendrick symbolized its roots, its artistry, its unfiltered truth. Fans weren't just picking sides in a rap beef, they were picking sides in a cultural debate about what hip-hop should represent. And now, in the middle of all this chaos, comes the footage. Drake, caught outside what appears to be Kendrick's home. The internet is in meltdown. Some say it's proof that they're squashing the beef. Others swear it's Drake plotting, scheming, maybe even trying to intimidate. But one thing is certain, this saga isn't over. Whether it's reconciliation or escalation, this footage just raised the stakes even higher. Because in hip-hop, nothing stays quiet for long. Drake and Kendrick have been circling each other for over a decade. From collaborators to rivals, from subliminals to scorched earth bars, they've become two sides of the same coin. Forever linked, forever compared, forever competing. And now, with Drake showing up at Kendrick's doorstep, we may be about to witness either the most shocking truce in hip-hop history or the next chapter in a feud that refuses to die.